Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's session, it's going to be a new beginning because I will be teaching biostatistics, that is in your B Pharmacy semester 8, and also nowadays it's been incorporated in the M Pharm syllabus. So the major reason for including biostatistics is you need a statistical validation, whether if it's your pharmacological results or if it's any formulation related approach, you need a statistical validation. So what is important in a particular research is a data. Whenever you get a data, what kind of data it is for evaluation. In order to validate that data, we need biostatistics. So data sets can be of discrete or continuous types. And then further, if we divide them, we have nominal data, we have ordinal, we have interval, we have ratio. So nominal and ordinal is basically used in your non-parametric test, while interval and ratio is used in your parametric test. We will be discussing ahead in our lectures. Unit wise, we will be discussing all the topics like correlation, regression, ANOVA, Friedman, Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis test, and many other tests that we will be discussing, that are t-test, z-test, and all. So whenever we have a particular data set, so in order to check whether the data set is normally distributed or not, we have a number of tests that we apply. So that is why biostatistics is very important to minimize the outliers, to remove the errors or the deviations, or to quantify the extent of errors. So this will be the syllabus that we will be covering in the first three lectures. Measurements of central tendency, in which we have mean, median, and mode. Then we have measures of dispersion. So dispersion is of two types: absolute and relative. We will be discussing all of them. Then we have Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient, Spearman's rank correlation. So that will be also be discussed. Regression. So regression is by best fit line, or method of least square. That is equation of y is equal to mx plus c, but now we write it as y is equal to a plus bx. Then we have single regression, linear regression, multiple regression, and all. Then we will be discussing about hypothesis, that is null and alternate hypothesis. Then standard error of mean, the two types of errors, and then finally the parametric test, that is the t-test, paired and unpaired t-test, ANOVA, one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA, and LSD, which is least significance difference. So here you can see two data sets. Over here you can see it is just a discrete type, or the data set is just ungrouped. So this kind of frequency distribution is called as ungrouped frequency distribution. And whenever you have a grouped frequency distribution, here you can see you have a range, you have a lower limit and an upper limit. So this is a grouped frequency distribution. So the measurements of the central tendency, the formula in which you have to apply, depends upon the type of data. So you have to first check whether the data is grouped or ungrouped. So central tendency may we have mean, that is averages, median, which is the middlemost value, and median is more constant and more given preference, because it and mostly non-parametric test, median is a major mode of measurement of central tendency, while in parametric test we have mean as a major mode of measurement of central tendency. Mod is the most repeated frequency, the value that is the most repeated one. So that is why we choose that as a central tendency measure. So now if we begin with the central tendency, mean, median, and mode. So when we think about solving a sum, so there is arithmetic mean, there's a geometric mean, there's a harmonic mean, so geometric progression related and all. But in our syllabus, and mostly we apply only the arithmetic mean. So this is a data set where you have 20, 40, 35, 25, and 40. Okay, so simply just add them. Simply just add these five values and then divide it by the number of values. So the sum of observation divided by the number of observations. So here you can see you have to just add all of them. So you'll get around 160. So 160 divided by 5, which will give you around 32, right? So can you see over here 32? That's the right answer. Now the second type of problem. So in mean there are majorly three types of ways in which you can solve. So one, only the x values is given, and the other when there is x as well as the frequency given. So here how are we going to solve it? Just make a table of x and f, and then finally make a table of f into x, multiply them. So what will be your mean then? it will be summation of f of x divided by the n. Now the n is not the number of observations, it is the number of frequency. You have to get the summation. Please remember, this is very important. So in the two ways that we learned till now, in one there was only x given, where we simply added the different values divided by the number of observations. In one in which there was x as well as frequency given. So in this case, we first made a table and then we multiplied f into x and did the summation, and then we divided for the mean f of x, summation of f of x upon summation of f. So just don't forget that it is not this summation or the number of observation, it is the summation of the frequency. And finally, in the third type, where you have class interval given, CI. So class interval, that is the data will be grouped now. So here you have x, this class interval will be x, and then you have f. Now simply you have to find the midpoints. Simply you have to find the midpoints. So a lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So 10 plus 0 divided by 2, which will give you 5. So middlemost value, basically जो भी आपका class interval होगा, you have to take the middlemost value. Here 15, here 25, here 35, so on and so forth. Now for the formula, you simply have to get the summation of f of m upon n. Now here again, n is not the number of observation, it is the sum of the frequency. Okay, so this is very, very important. And what is fm? Nothing, just multiply frequency into this middlemost value, you will get your fm, right? So if 12 5s are 60, 18 15s are 270. So summation of f of m upon n. So these are the three ways in which you can solve the mean. Now the next one, we have median. So in median, firstly, and the very important thing, you have to arrange it in the either ascending or descending order. Majorly we arrange from small to the bigger one number. So just now in this, the first kind of data set, it's already arranged 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24. So you just have, what you have to do now, you have to see whether the observations, the number of observations are even or is it odd. Okay, so if it's even, you have to apply another formula that we will be discussing. But if it's odd, simply use the formula n plus 1 by 2. Okay, n plus 1 by 2. So this will be your formula for your median. If the, so what is your n, number of observations? Is it 9? Yes, it is 9. So 9 plus 1 divided by 2, that is 10 divided by 2. This is the fifth value. So the fifth, this now 5 is not your answer. The fifth value, the number that is on the fifth position will be your answer. So over here, the fifth position, there is 19, right over here. So 19 is your answer. So just remember this. Next, now this data set you have unarranged. You do not have arrangement in a definite order. So that is why you have to arrange this first of all. See over here, they have arranged it. And then you have to calculate the number of observation. Now it is 12, which is an even observation. How do we solve this even observation? We have to simply take n by 2 plus n plus 1 by 2, the whole divided by 2th value. That is 12 by 2 plus 12 plus 1, that is 13 by 2, the whole upon 2. Okay, so here you have 6 plus 7.5 or 6.5, right, upon 2. So now over here you have to consider the 6th term and the 7th term. Okay, don't forget, you have to consider the 6th term and the 7th term divided by 2. So your 6th term is 20 when you arrange in the definite order, and your 7th term is also 20 in this case. So 20 plus 20 divided by 2, which will give you, again it will only give you 20, right? So now if I'll again repeat it because it was a little bit crucial to understand. Firstly, you have to just see whether the number of observations is odd or even. If it's odd, simply apply the formula n plus 1 by 2. If it's even, then you have to use the formula n by 2 plus n plus 1 by 2, the whole upon 2. So here you have 6th value and here you have 6.5th value. So that is considered as the 7th term. So 6th term plus 7th term divided by 2. So that is why we had 20 and 20 on the 6th as well as 7th position. So we just added and then divided it by 2. So we got the 20 as a median value. Fine. So here now that's the one way in which you have to firstly check the, in which only X is given. And you have to check the number of observations as odd or even. Now we have X as well as we have F. So in this case, you have to find the cumulative frequency. How do you find the cumulative frequency? Simply, जो पहला number है उसको as it is लिख दो. Okay. Then keep on adding this with this. So 10 plus 8, 18. 18 plus 11, 29. 29 plus 16, 45. 45 plus 20, 65. Simply just go on adding these numbers. Okay, that is what is called cumulative. And the last number that you get here should match with the summation of F. If it's not matching, somewhere or the other you have made a mistake, go back, rectify. Now over here, how do we calculate the median size? Again, the number of observation is odd over there. So we simply use the formula n plus 1 by 2. So here we have 20 plus 1 by 2, which is 21 by 2. So then we have around the size of the 60.5th term. So the cumulative frequency, which is just greater than 60.5th term, so that will be your median class. So in this case, your median class would be 5. So this is very important. Next up, we have median and continuous series. So here you have given grouped data, right? Class interval they have given you. So in this class interval, you have frequency as well as class interval both. How do you find the cumulative frequency? Simply write the first value as it is, add, add, add. And finally over here you get n at the 725 and 725. Is it matching? Yes, it is matching. So now simply you have to use the formula n plus 1 by 2. So here you have n plus 1 by 2, that is cumulative frequency is just greater than 36.5th term. So the median class, you will get a class this time. So the median class is around 20 to 30. Okay. So in order to find the median, you have to use the formula L plus n by 2 minus cumulative frequency into h upon f. Now what is this h? This h is a class width. So that is 30 minus 20 in this case, right? Because you had 10, 20 to 30. So the upper limit minus the lower limit, that will give you the class width. So that is 10. 10 upon the frequency that is corresponding to that class width. Okay. So whatever the frequency would have been corresponding to that class width. In this case, it is around 150. So L value, which is the lower limit of the median class. So the lower limit of the median class is 20 plus n by 2 minus CF. So n value is around 62 or something. So you have to just substitute the values in this formula in the cumulative frequency table. Okay. So this is the formula for median. And then we have mode. So mode may have to find the most repeated frequency. One is unimodal, but then you have bimodal, and then you have multimodal. So there can be either one value which is repeated, two or more values which are repeated, three or more values which are repeated. So in this case, so you can directly find, see, the 6 is so repeated so many times. So that is the mode. Now when you have X and F, there also simply you have to see the F value. जिसकी F की value सबसे ज़्यादा होगी, the highest value of the F, that will be your mod. Now, when you have a data set that is grouped, so for continuous data like this, you need to use a formula of L plus Fm minus F1 upon 2Fm minus F1 minus F2 into H. Do not forget this H, and it is not H upon F like the median one. It is only the class width. So your Fm, that is your modal class, is 32 in this case. Your F1 value will be the upper value and your F2 value will be your lower value. Please remember this. The Fm value will be your modal class and then the F1 value. How do you know this modal class? Fm की value सबसे highest कौन सा दिख रहा है इन सब में? 8, 12, 24, 31, 32. 32 is the highest one. So that is your modal class. Then you have F1 and then you have F2. Simply formula में डाल दो L1. What is your L1 value? 60 plus Fm minus F1. So Fm is your 32, F1 is 31 upon 2 into Fm, that is 2 into 32 minus 31 minus 20 into H. H is what? 10. So that is 20 minus 30. So this will be a formula and just calculate the sum. So how easy it was. So in this video we just saw the three measures of central tendency, that is mean, median, and mode. In mode, we saw two types, one in which there was x given, one in which there were x and f given, and then the other type, that we special one we saw, whereby use the formula of L1 SL1 plus FM minus F1, that was class interval 1. Similarly, for median also we saw only x, then we saw x and f, where we found out the cumulative frequency, and then we saw the for the class interval, right? For the class interval we use the formula L1 plus n by 2 minus Cf into h upon f, right? So these are the three ways in which we can solve median. And then in mean also we saw three types, one in which there was ascending order given already, and in mean directly we added the sum of observations divided by number of observations, right? Divided by number of observation. And in one case whereby we had found out the f value, where x and f were given, so we found the x into f, and we divided it by summation of x, f of x upon summation of f. Remember, it's not n, it is summation of f. So the frequency plus addition will be divided, not the number of observations. Similarly, in class interval also we use the same thing, where there was class interval that was given. So in that case we found out summation of f of m, summation of f of m, if you remember, simply found the middlemost value of that class interval and we multiplied it with the f value, and then we substituted it into the formula f of f upon summation of f. So these are the three ways in which you can solve mean, the three ways in which you can solve median, and the mode. All you have to use is your, just at that point, the brain. It is very easy, it is very scoring. आपको बस 2 minute का question है ये. But you need to remember what kind of data set is it, what kind of formula you have to incorporate. ऐसा now that in this, if it's class interval given and you are applying the cumulative frequency का formula, so that might get you in trouble. So just see to it that what kind of data set is given to you and see what kind of formula can be incorporated. In the next video, we will be discussing about correlation regression. So if you did like my video and if you have any suggestions, please feel free to drop your comments in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Thank you so much everybody for watching the video.